Now, let's talk about social media and cybersecurity with the CEO of DatChat, Darren Myman. Welcome, Darren.
For having us. Great to be here.
All right, let's get right into it. So, social media platforms started as a fun place to talk to friends.
Mm-hmm.
That was the initial premise. Now they're all about selling your data and tracking you. Where did it go wrong? What happened?
Yeah, they've totally invaded our privacy. And they've moved from just selling our data and keeping whole profiles on us to what, we saw something very interesting this week where they admitted they're tracking us and everything we do on our mobile devices and computers. And we can't do that. We must keep our privacy. We're entitled to control our own data, and we're entitled to free speech because now they're starting to move into free speech and really exploiting our privacy.
When you say they're tracking everything we do on mobile and our personal computers, what do you mean by that? Can you give me some examples that are really intrusive that people may not be aware of?
Yeah.
Is it a situation where you say something and to a friend and then suddenly your phone recommends something you said? Well, give me a specific example that may be intrusive and also somewhat crazy.
Oh, it's very intrusive. I'll tell you what, last Christmas, I was shopping for my wife, some jewelry, and her Facebook feed. I was on Google. I was searching it, just checking out sites on anything to do with Facebook in another room, sometimes at work, and everything I was searching was showing up in her news feed. Now, how could that possibly be? Because they were tracking everything I did and shared it with everyone associated with those IP addresses, which would be my wife, my kids. So there's no privacy. So whatever we do, they're looking at. Even when you're not using an app like Facebook, they're still tracking you. It's gotten to the point where it's time we do something and take back our privacy.
Okay, so if we don't take back our privacy, and where do you think, how far can this go before we actually have to do something to put a stop to it? Where do you think the boundary is where, okay, enough is enough? Or have we already passed that? That sort of that line? Have we crossed that line already?
We're on the precipice of, I guess, what would be a privacy Armageddon. Right now, Facebook's talking about bringing all the messaging platforms together.
Yes.
So think about it. You start doing, let's say, the keto diet, right? You're on keto. You're sharing it with friends. You're looking at things. And once Facebook decides they want to sell that information to insurance companies and health companies, think of all the data we have from everything we do is tracked and indexed, and they create dossiers on us. All they have to do is decide where else they can monetize us. And the sky's really the limit. We must stop that. I think we need legislation here.
We need legislation here. But outside of legislation, how is DatChat changing the game, or at least addressing this particular issue?
Well, what we did is we created a private encrypted social network that does a few things. First, there's no reason for your posts to last forever. Two, we don't track anything you do. It's all between you and your friends. Only your friends can see what you post, and you get many social networks. So you can have one for friends, one for business, one for your canoeing buddies, if that's what you're into. And we keep no data. You can't screenshot anything, and anytime you can make everything disappear associated with that post. It's about taking back our privacy, and we did the same thing for messaging. This is very important, very significant, and very needed, because what we found in developing DatChat is people care about privacy, but they're willing to give up some privacy. But no one wants to be told to be quiet. And that's what's happening now, the censorship coming along with the privacy.
Well, initially, Snapchat, another platform, another app, if you will, not if you will, that's what it is, started with that. We started with that premise that you couldn't really, with that privacy factor. Are there some lessons to be learned from there? Have you taken some of the lessons? Are you sort of building on what you can see from their vast empirical database from their operations? Anything that you can take from that to enhance what you do?
Great question. We take a lot from it. So they're collecting all your data. That's how they make money. Anything you do, anything you share, and there's also no privacy or encryption or anything associated with Snapchat. And we wanted to build something completely safe, completely private, and free from outside forces. Our goal is to give you the same privacy and free speech that you have on your couch and in the living room in your house with your friends online. And I think we're entitled to all of that.
Of course. So one last question, or two really. What's been the reception so far, and what's sort of next for you in that chat? Where are you guys looking to go with this? Are you guys looking to be just a refuge and outlet for some people who still use the other ones who may want to migrate their conversations over there? Are you looking to take on the giants? What's next for you?
Well, we're definitely taking on the giants. Yeah, this is important to us. The next big step for us is moving it onto the blockchain because we're growing pretty quickly now. And as you grow, you bring in new people. And can you ever really trust people? We have to migrate this to the blockchain and take out the thought of any centralized. We're private, secure. We can't see anything you do, but we don't trust ourselves 2 years from now. And that's why we're going to move it to the blockchain.
That's a really interesting thing, the blockchain integration. Tell me, how are investors receiving this product, this idea? Have you gotten a lot of backing from venture capital? Is there a lot there?
We have some venture capital strategic partners. We've raised about $6 million so far, and we have an ongoing. We actually want to go directly to the people that are going to use this. So we're doing a Reg A Plus Tier 2 crowdfunded IPO.
Wonderful. When is that going live? Before we go,
very successfully.
We have to wrap this up. Where can people find this Reg A Plus IPO? When is it going live?
Chatchat.com. The offering documents there. Check it out and request more information.
Beautiful. Thank you for being here, Darren.
Thank you. Appreciate the time.
You got it, man.